Greatness,
is not an option. Greatness is an expectation. Each day I wake up, I say that to myself, and I say that to my daughter right outside her door before I leave for work. Because at the end of the day, how you see yourself is ultimately going to determine how the world sees you. So I wrote this poem for my daughter. One of the greatest gifts God ever gave me was my daughter. Second to my wife, of course. And each time I would return home from work, she and I would repeat one of the most beautiful rituals known to man. A typical conversation between my daughter and I would go something like this. Dad. Hey, gorgeous. How are you, my tiny terrorist? I say jokingly, arms extended, lifting her to my level, attempting to level the playing field because I refuse to talk down to my daughter. Affirmations are one of the most powerful tools any man has to give to his daughter. I tell her that there is magic in your melanin, success in your spine, healing in your hips, love on your lips. Low key, it is. Dedicating on all who seek to oppose you in such magnificent fashion, I tell her that he who takes your hand inherits the responsibility of your heart. So the only time a man should put his hands on you is to wrap his love around you. And as you become older, if he expresses interest in making love to you, allow it to be to your mind before your body. I tell her that there is magic in your melanin, success in your smile, healing in your hips, love on your lips, and don't you ever allow anyone to tell you anything different. I wrote that poem for her because as a growing, intelligent African-American male, right, living in this society, there are a lot of things that we don't do, especially as fathers. And with her being my first child, and we're actually expecting our second, wife's pregnant right now. June 26th, we'll have our boy, which is awesome. We're really excited about that. But a lot of what I wanted to instill in her is to chase after your goals. Now, oftentimes people tell you to chase after your dreams, right? Because at some point you gotta wake up, right? And a lot of people, we have a lot of dreams, but we don't have any movement to go along with it, right? So statistics say that 80% of people will never accomplish a goal, simply because they will never set them, right? Then of that 20% that's left, 75% of them will never accomplish their goal. So you literally cannot afford to fail. How you see yourself is ultimately going to determine how the world sees you. I went to the dollar store and I had this experience which kind of gave me the title of this speech. And it's entitled, I Want My Penny Back, right? So I went to the dollar store to get an orange Fanta, right, the little 2-liter. And my wife kind of educated me on how different dollar stores charge different ways, right? So Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, all the other, Dollar Avenue, I don't know, whatever. So it's like 1,000 different dollar stores, right? But then you have some that literally only charge you 99 cents for whatever your good or service is, right? So I handed the guy my dollar bill, and he rung my soda up, and then he said, "You have a great day." I'm like, "Excuse me?" And he kind of looked at me, perplexed. He didn't know why I was looking at him. And I said, "Sir, I want my penny back." And he kind of looked at me as if I offended him. And I'm like, "Sir, this receipt says 99 cents. I want my penny back," right? So oftentimes I think about how in life, how we will just give our penny away when we've worked so hard for it, right? So then I started to think about, if they do this to 300 people, right? How much money is that? Some of y'all math is terrible. Somebody said $300. $3. There you go. Lord have mercy, we take y'all to math. But then I started to think about, if they continue to do this throughout the entire year, that's earned income that they're not even thinking about. And just think about how many times you step into a setting where you're investing, right? How many of you paid to get in here? Everyone, pretty much everyone, right? Okay, for the most part, if you're not in an organization that's sponsoring the event. But you invested something in it, right? So when you come to events like this and you don't get the person that's speaking their full potential, right? I know we have a little small setting, but I don't want to slight you guys. My great mentor, Eric Thomas, he says, I don't care if I'm talking to 5 people or 500 people. You're going to get my best every single time I stand up here in front of you. Because what you're saying and what you bring to the table is ultimately going to liberate somebody. And for you, oh man, it's only 5 people here, so I'm going to give y'all this little mediocre speech, get my brain, and I'm going to roll out. No, because this is my legacy here. When I leave here, how you view me and with the things in which I pass to you, that's going to determine the course of your life. Take what you need, throw the rest away, right? So, that poem, it ties into that story because I tell her all the time how you see yourself. How many of you saw the Black Panther? All right, I'm not going to spoil the movie for you guys that didn't see it. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. However, after seeing that movie last night, I literally had to throw my whole speech away and write a brand new one. At 12 o'clock last night, had to write a whole new one. And when you see the movie, you'll understand why. There's just so much wisdom packed into one movie. However, one of the biggest questions that was asked throughout that movie, and it went over a lot of people's heads, who are you? And I went one step further to say, who are you outside of your pain? I know for me, growing up, I didn't have a father, right? My mom was on drugs. My grandmother raised me and my 5 brothers. Her husband of 15 years said to her, you've raised your 6. Now you're going to raise your oldest daughters? No, you raised your 5. Now you're going to raise your oldest daughter's 6? It's either me or the kids. We came home, his bags were packed on that porch, and she said, bye. So she literally gave up her life for us. And my entire life, I said, you know what? I'm going to continue to succeed. I'm going to continue to excel because my goal in life was to excel so high that whoever my father was, eventually, you know how the parents come around after they ain't been around when you making good money, you know what I mean? Hey, yeah, that's my son, but he wasn't never there for anything. First dance, first kiss, first heartbreak, right? All those kinds of things. But as I continued through my life, right? I went to college, and then I found out randomly from one of my brothers that he met him and that he was on the verge of death from cancer. And I had to continually ask myself, who am I? I was literally, and I was speaking with our other speaker earlier, and I told her, you know, in high school, I was like that dude. I mean, I still am, but like, I was like that dude, for real. Captain of the basketball team, well, not basketball, I'm sorry, football, captain of the track team, right? I wasn't that great at basketball, I was okay. I could shoot a little bit. But debate team, you know, president of student government, I graduated first in my class, got a full 4-year scholarship to college, went to college. My freshman year, I became freshman class president, and I became third vice president of our NAACP. Then my sophomore year, I pledged my fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha, greatest, oldest, and the coldest black world. Then I became president of the White Rose Social Club, which is a mentor organization on campus. I became a mentor on campus as well. Then my junior year, I became president of my chapter. Held that for 2 years. And I became Mr. Voorhees College, and I became Mr. HBCU, right? You seeing the trend there? Greatness is not an option. It's an expectation. What legacy are you leaving? I didn't want to just be someone that went to college and then, you know, eventually got a good job, right? They always say, oh, go get an education, go get an education. I say go get an experience. Because what you gain from this setting will ultimately determine how you deal with the world. People say, oh, the world is a cruel place, it'll chew you up and spit you out. You're right, it will. But the more you train your mind for those experiences, the more you go to those conferences. When I went to the Mr. HBCU conference, my school had never been there. I was only the 4th king of my college. No, third. I'm sorry, third. The 3rd king of my college. And I went to a conference called NASAP, National Association for Student Affairs Professionals. If you guys hold any leadership positions on campus, you need to look into that conference. So one of you guys that are presidents, vice presidents, I need to write that down. NASAP, N-A-S-A-P, National Association of Student Affairs Professionals. It's a great conference. But all of the other kings in the other schools, Howard, Hampton, Tuskegee, Tougaloo, it was a whole bunch of other schools there. And they asked me, you know, after, you know, encountering me, you know, are you going to this conference? I'm like, what conference? The Mr. HBCU conference. I'm like, never heard of it. So I looked it up, did some research, and I said, no, I could win that. So I went to my college president, and you know, my school is a very small school, so we have a bit of access to our leaders. That's another thing. Make sure you have access to your leaders. I knew my professor's office hours better than they did, because I knew that you were not going to take my penny from me. If I'm coming here every single day, I'm getting up at 8 o'clock to come to class, you're going to give me my penny. I got kicked out of class one time for asking too many questions. And I went right to the provost and said, hey, this ain't cool. Because I'm making you do your job. I'm not coming in here every single day hoping the professor doesn't show up. No, I'm hoping you show up, and I'm hoping you give me your best. I'm hoping you give me experiences outside of the education that you learned. And oftentimes, a lot of that centers around, here we go, some of y'all gonna miss this, who you associate yourself with. I really want to ask you guys, think of your 3 closest people, the people that are in your circle. And I want you to ask yourself, are they encouraging you or are they exhausting you? I'm gonna say that one more time because somebody just missed that. Are they encouraging you or are they exhausting you? And we all have that one friend who look at the phone like, here she go again. There he go again. You was done with him, now you back with him. You didn't want to go to your job, but here you are, first in line, right? We all have that one person, right? But then we also have that one person that makes you it gets you excited. My friend Ben Bakayoko, he's my best friend since my freshman year. He told me that we're lions chasing gazelle, and he told me one day I'm going to catch you. And I said, well, you better lace your shoes up. Lace them up. And you need people like that that's going to push you, that's going to encourage you, right? I wrote my first book, The Purpose of Power. It's available on Amazon right now, so you can go get that. I'm actually about to publish my second book called You Need to Get Started While We Can't Wait on Our Dreams, right? And I talk about relationships. My wife, and I thank God for her, I really do, she pushes me in a way that sometimes it tweaks my mind. I was sitting there and I was writing, and I said, you know what, I'm going to take a break. And I sat there and I started watching, I watch these rap battles on YouTube. They're really dope. We can talk about it afterwards. But I was watching it and I don't know what it was, but she looked at me and she said, shouldn't you be writing? Well, excuse me. Because at that point in time, I thought, you know what, let me go ahead and take a break. Sometimes you can't wait. You know, I had a young man tell me, I want to be in the NBA. I said, okay, cool. What time do you wake up in the morning? He said, oh, about 10 o'clock. I said, do you know somebody's on their third workout right now? Somebody's on their third workout, and you're just getting up, right? So I never want anyone to beat me. Sometimes that idea that, oh, I want to sleep. Every time it says, sometimes some of you want to sleep more than you want to be successful. Right? And that's not to say that you should kill yourself and not sleep, because I enjoy sleep very well. However, there are certain times where you have to sacrifice that 1 hour, that 2 hours, that 3 hours to put in that work. I wrote my second book in 3 days. 3 days. Because I was so busy grinding. My wife would ask me, are you hungry? And I would never say I wasn't hungry. I would say I'm not focused on that right now. She'll tell you, I ate 3 bagels in 3 days. And she laughing. I'm dead serious. 3 bagels. I'm literally sitting there. I need to get all these thoughts out of my head. You hungry? Yeah, let me get that baby. Let me get back to it, right? And in those 3 days, of my 10 chapters, I wrote 8. Then afterwards, I was like, all right, I need to get some sleep. And then that next day, when I went to eat, I was like, yo, why am I so hungry? She's like, because you ain't ate. And I'm like, okay, all right, that's fair. But sometimes that value that we place on who's looking at us, right? Who's watching us? Who's looking at us? Who's listening to us? You never know the people that you're going to come in contact with. And especially on the collegiate level, you all are your greatest assets. Your greatest assets. I wanted to start my first company when I was in college. I said, you know what? I need to get serious about myself, right? I went and got business cards. My best friend, who's a graphic designer, you know what I did? I paid him. Some of you guys missed that. I paid him for a graphic for my company. Right? Because sometimes, especially us, let's keep it funky, right? We want handouts. Right? We want things for free, right? But nothing in life is free. Some of you can't even afford to not pay attention. I know some of y'all missed that. I get it. But I paid him. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the value you place on an individual is going to skyrocket how you see yourself, how you encounter others, how you encourage others, how you uplift others. Right? I don't look for anything for free. So anytime someone tells me they want to connect themselves to me, I said, okay, how can we benefit one another? How can I uplift you like you uplifted me? Right? All 3 organizations, First Ladies, Black Student Alliance, and Brother to Brother. I follow all 3 pages. Right? I'm going to tell you why I did that. Because I wanted to see who I was speaking with. Right? I wanted to see what was the value of the things that you post. How do people engage with the things that you post? And I want to say you guys do a great job engaging your student body. A great job posting things that and presenting events that do more than just encourage and uplift. It literally transforms your life. And the beauty in this all, and some of you guys are going to miss this, is collaboration. Wise people build bridges. The foolish build barriers. Yeah, that's Black Panther. But the value in what you guys bring together, 2 heads will always be better than 1. Unless you're like Einstein or something. And, you know, I might make up a good argument for you. But when I started thinking about networking, right? And how we encounter different people. I always talk about the 36 rule. Anyone that encounters me knows I'm like a champion for the 36 rule. How many of you guys know what the 36 rule is? Nobody. Awesome. Now I'm about to teach you something. Cool. Young lady, what's your name?
Maylon.
Maylon?
Maylot.
Spell that for me.
M-A-Y-L-E.
That's dope. All right, stand up for me. All right. Clap it up for our participation. So, the 36 rule says, right, is that people will judge you, right, based off of what they see 12 feet away, 12 inches away, and then the first 12 words that come out your mouth. Now, I know I'm holding up 7. I meant to hold up 1. What about the first 12 words that come out your mouth? Right, just make sure y'all paying attention. All right, you can sit down. Thank you. But by what they see 12 feet away, right? They're judging your appearance. I can see she has a nice dress on. Clearly she's confident. She got her heels with the straps over her feet. You know what I mean? I'm judging her, right? I'm looking at her hair. Okay, cool. She confident. Either one, she's having a bad hair day, or two, she really appreciates her hair. So I'm hoping I'm within one of those 2 parameters, right? And then when you get 12 inches away, right? This probably ain't 12 inches, but I'm just going to use your example. What's your name? Crystal. Awesome. Diamond. Cool. Crystal. All right. So 12 inches away, right? Now I'm looking at things like, what do her nails look like? Right? Is there crust in her eyes? Is there slobber in her nose? Is there slobber coming off her mouth? You know, I'm looking at those kinds of things because how you present yourself, right, is how people are going to see you. And then those first 12 words. Oh, I literally judge everybody for the first 12 words they said to me because that's how I'm going to view you, right? So anytime I want to meet someone and encounter someone, especially when it comes to networking, right, I want to blow your mind in those first 12 words. Right? So when I go to events and I'm going up to a speaker, oftentimes people would ask me, you know, we went to an event together, oh, what'd you think about the speaker? I don't give a doggone what I think about the speaker. I want to know what the speaker thinks about me. Right? So when I walk up and I go and I approach the speaker, I say, how you doing? My name is Anthony Hyde. I'm a monster. I'm the epitome of excellence and the personification of perfection. They look like, oh, snap. Like, whoa, this dude's on fire. Because that's how I want them to view me. That's how I want them to see me. As that guy that's hungry, right? I met Eric Thomas my junior year, and he said to me, I don't need gazelle on my team. I need lions. And I said, you're going to be my mentor one day. And he leaned in and he said, you're still a gazelle. Well, excuse me. But I needed that experience in order to understand that the level that I was operating at, I had to raise it, right? The level that I saw myself, I had to raise it. The expectations that I had on myself and my life, I had to raise it. So what I do, I wrote my first book. And it was an autobiographical sketch of different experiences I had throughout my life. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm only 23 years old. You know, I'm 25 now. I said, I don't know if people are going to really see me. Then I thought about it in my head, are you a gazelle or are you a lion? Who are you? Who are you? I'm a lion. Roar! Straight up. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to publish it, right? And then all of a sudden, I started getting all of these different messages from different people from around the world. A young lady hit me up, I want to say about a month and a half ago. She said, I saw your book online and I read it. I'm like, okay, cool. Then she went on to say that 18 years of her life, she never had a seizure. She started having seizures out of nowhere. She thought about getting up, read my book, and decided to keep living. Now, thank you. I take none of that credit for myself. That was God telling me that what you had right there, that gift that you had right there, put it out into the atmosphere. Some of you guys are sitting on $1 million dreams, $1 million ideas because you're scared of what people are going to think about you. You're scared about how your friends are going to think about the things that you're doing, right? If you're the smartest person in your circle, you need to change groups. Because now you're operating at a level that is only the median, right? You're operating at a level where you have no room for growth. I try to surround myself with people that are about excellence, that are about moving forward, not about drama, not about talking about people, not about worrying about what the next man is doing. I don't worry about what the next man is doing because I know what I'm doing. I don't worry about what other people are doing in their relationships because I know what I had with mine, right? Especially with me being in the military. Oh my God. You'll be surprised at the way in which people see each other. But I tell my wife every chance I get, you are beautiful. You are golden. You're mine. I'm proud of that, right? So when you start talking about yourself and you start talking about your life, are you proud of the life that you're living? A lot of times people say practice what you preach, right? In this social media age, I tell people practice what you post. Or is your online business card, right, as transparent as your physical one? Because every time you think about an individual, what do? When you meet a new person, right? Especially in this day and age, what you do? Let me go look and see if they're in a relationship.
Let me go see what they're about.
right? Because we have in our mind that your social media is going to tell
At least somewhat of a snippet. Because you got a lot of folk out here faking. Let's keep it funky. A lot of folk out here faking, right?
But I knew for me, if this is what I ultimately wanted to do, the way in which I wanted people to see me, that my social media has to be a direct reflection of how I feel. So when I post things, I post it with the intention of getting a reaction. I post things with the intention of tweaking your mind, making you feel some type of way deep down inside. Because I want you to change your mindset, right? If you change your mind, you will change your life. I promise you. Thank you.